Welcome to the Bravo Charlie Club podcast, making you 12 and a half minutes more awesome each week. He's Ben. I'm Richard. Let's go. Ben, how you doing?
I'm well, mate. I'm well. Out of hospital. That's the set of crutches in the background there. We haven't recorded for a while, mate.
It's been a while. It has indeed, yes.
Lucky we put a few in the bank when we got going, so that we could keep the weekly promise to our listeners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how are you, Ben? How are you doing? Out
I'm
of
good.
hospital? Yeah.
I am. One of the conundrums of the week was going to be, is it possible to record a podcast while in a hospital ward? And you visited me, microphone in hand.
I did. I was ready to go. I had all the stuff there. Yeah.
And I had my microphone as well, but I mean, in an ICU, it wasn't really viewed very optimistically by the people.
It's certainly a tricky setup with all the cords and cables and stuff going everywhere.
Yeah. And I think for listeners who are listening and caught my black sticky dots travel tip, there's not enough black sticky dots in the world to cover up what could only be described as a jumbo jet cockpit in an ICU. There's just lights everywhere.
I know there is lights everywhere, oxygen bags, the whole deal. Yep.
Sleeping is optional.
Tubes, cables, everything. People checking on you every 10 minutes.
Yeah, we don't need to discuss that conundrum. It's not a conundrum. It can't be done. If anyone's recorded a podcast in a hospital, please let me know. I'd love to have a listen to how that one went.
Get the pro tips.
Hey, diving into the Fully Awake project, this is an interesting one because it's sort of gone on a bit of a wave. I think whether your phone ringer should be on or off, and whether it should be vibrating, and whether it should ping or beep or boop or bop. Notifications on your phone, Richard, on or off? What's the outcome?
So I'm off. So I mostly have my phone on silent mode between I guess up until about 5 p.m. and then I'll sort of take it off silent mode. But I'm a massive fan on just deleting all of the icons off the home screen. So I've only got about 8 or 10 icons, I think, on my home screen. You can find them all. I've got 200 apps. They're all there inside the phone. It's just that on that first page, no folders, just the super heavy usage apps.
So I've seen people use their phones before and they have to swipe multiple screens to find the app that they want to open. You're saying you've only got one screen and that screen's not even full. Like eight apps.
Yeah.
I think it's 16.
So like there we go. So like that's for the listeners, for people on the video, you can sort of see it's like
that's
only
ridiculous.
Just 8 icons and then there's three down the bottom. But yeah, it's like it's great. You just don't have this massive visual clutter clamoring for your attention.
How does that make you feel? Like, do you feel mental clarity? Like, is it?
I don't know. It's just not distracting, I guess. I mean, you can still find all the apps there by going into the app library and sort of doing a search. Just one screen, no folders. Yeah, that's how I roll. So
I rate it.
I like it.
I follow the same, very similar system. I've only got one page, but it is full. It's not 8. I think it's 16 or 20. Whatever the full number is, it's that.
Yep.
I search for in the app library. I find that little one, the used regularly one, is usually where I need to go because the four are there that you do use regularly. It knows.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Interesting. So, what about the notifications in terms of the red dots? We've talked about the 10,000 emails, but like on the phone itself, do you still use that system, but it's just silent? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, pretty much. Just the red dots kind of come up on the on the apps, but
and is it a to-do list for you? If there's a red dot there, is that a to-do list?
No, it's not. It's just like I might check it out once a day, and if there's anything important there, perhaps that goes down into the to-do list of the day. My daily to-do list, feeding into that, I use Field Notes for my daily to-do list. So I've got sort of like this two-stage journaling system. Field notes are just lists, like back of the envelope lists that you make, stuff that you need to do that day, the 5 or 10 most important things. And then quality things that are sort of more important, go into the journal. So that's the things that have more longevity. So this is the sort of disposable, and I'll go through one of those once a month. And the important thoughts go into the important book.
I use friend of the show, Tony Wilson's Focus Journal. Very similar format. It's basically your two things in one. And it's a quarterly journal. I value that a lot. We've talked about this before. To-do lists are sort of, in the moment. You do it and then it's done. You don't need to refer back to it. And then there's the permanent journal, if you like, which I use my digital notepad for. Interesting.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it. So notifications off. Do you beat people up if their phone rings nearby, or like, is that a?
What do you mean? I'm trying to be a bit of a pacifist as a general trend.
give them a dirty look. Very good. Hey, while we're on the Fully Awake project, I had an incident in the last couple of weeks in my household, and it was around making decisions regarding our pets. My cat was unwell and needed to have dental surgery. Now, we're talking about a 12-year-old short-haired domestic non-pedigree cat. We got it from the RSPCA. It was $3,500 for the dental surgery. Now, I've had wisdom teeth out that cost less than that, and so I did the maths. It was a very, very simple decision for me that this cat's time had come. And I guess the question for me is, how should a male act in this situation? Like, why do we actually pretend that we even have a say? Because the outcome. The cat had the surgery, and I'm $3,500 lighter, and my vet made their Porsche payments or whatever that they needed. But why do males pretend? Like, why do we continuously think that we're involved in these kind of decisions?
I think, or is cat dentistry a field that we should be getting into? That sounds quite lucrative to me.
It is. It is. Yeah,
you don't get a lot of complaints from the customers.
I feel like I should do a crowdfund and just rate and go, guys, it's not you. Just on a billboard, like, just don't pretend. We don't get a say.
You don't get to say. Yeah.
It was a real aha moment. Well, I thought that I'd made a very reasonable case. We love the cat. We got a great 12 years out of him. But the time had come. But clearly I was the only one thinking that in the house.
Yes.
Interesting times.
Interesting times. It's a tough one. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, let's move into the travel tip of the week, mate.
Yes, Ben, what is the travel tip of the week?
So just a quick one. For those who aren't aware, there's a website called Seat Guru. And I think it's just seatguru.com. And you literally can punch in your flight code, and it'll know what type of plane you're on, and therefore be able to tell you the configuration and where the best seats are. Particularly useful if you're flying economy, because you can be away from the toilets or away from the kitchenette, or you can find those really cool seats where there's an empty seat in front of you, and so you're paying for economy, but you're getting the leg room. So they're ultra cool. Well worth it. Have you ever had a chance where you needed to use it?
I so could have used that. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. I was flying back from Melbourne to the Gold Coast. The plane was chockers because it was school holidays, and I couldn't take the extra legroom option. But I'm A seat or an F seat. Like I'm a window sort of
Window.
flyer.
Oh, I'm an
Yeah.
aisle. We'll never sit together.
We will never sit
Yeah.
together. But I like to get the aisle that's opposite to the way the sun's pouring in, right? So
Yeah,
if
fair.
you're sort of like because you don't want to have the sun on your face the whole time.
At least you
In
can
fact,
close the window.
well, you can, but like it kind of like heats up, and then it's all dark. No, it's all wrong. I like to leave the window open anyway.
Gotcha.
But as it turned out, I was in seat 10A on the way back, and there's no window in
There
seat
wasn't
10A.
a window to
Like,
close.
there's no window. Like it's just it's a wall, and so you kind of like looking. I'm like, what is this? What's with this seat? And like everyone else's
Were
seats on
you
the A
even on a
side have a
plane?
window. I felt like I was in the bathroom the whole time. Like it's so like I felt like I had this claustrophobia because I didn't have my window and I was sitting in an A seat. So
You're
I
lucky
felt
you're
robbed.
listening to this podcast, mate.
Seat
It's
Guru could have saved me.
seatguru.com.
Seat
Yeah,
Guru could have
get
saved me
into
some
it.
stress. Yeah.
Get into
Anyway,
it.
there you go. Or just
Hey,
don't sit 10A.
a listener wrote in and he asked why the podcasts were 12 and a half minutes long and complained that his commute was 25 minutes. We'll tell you why podcasts are 12 and a half minutes long in a later podcast. But, mate, just listen to 2. It's simple math.
Or you could listen to it on half speed.
Yeah. As opposed to
worse.
which sound even worse. At least we're not chipmunks. I love it.
That's true.
I love it. Hey, last week we promised a conundrum of the week where we would ask if you could get 110% of something. Like, can you give 110% effort? I don't think it's possible. I think that if you're giving more, if you think you're giving 110%, what it means is you were never giving 100% to start with. It's a mathematical solution. That 100 literally means per cent, per century or per centum.
See, I'm in the opposite camp. I'm in the opposite. I love 110%. I love going. I love getting that bit extra.
It's like fairy dust.
It's like I always harken back to Super Coach Al Pittman. Rest in peace.
Yes.
From our triathlon days, Ben, and he was always like, you feel like you're giving 100%, and then you get to the finish suit, and your back straightens up, and you start to find your stride. You swing your arms properly. It's like, why couldn't you have done that 5Ks before? And so I think it's psychological. I think you can always lift that little bit extra.
I argue you were probably only going at 75 or 80%, and all you've done is reach your correct maximum.
But you can kind of like you can overextend for short periods. I think you can go 110%.
I think it's that fairy dust protein bar you find in Mario Kart.
Well, that is good too. So you see, so it does exist. It's exactly like that. You got me.
All right, I give in. All right, that's it, Richard. Listeners have been BCC'd on our week. In next week's show, we're going to dive into modern day communication and try and work out, when did we become so reliant on continuous updates? Until then,
next week. Yep.
Bravo Charlie Club out.
And that's the pod.